He slept in public restrooms. He stood in soup kitchen lines with his toddler in his arms. And yet, he built a $250 million empire. This is the unbelievable true story of Chris Gardner, the man who refused to give up. Chris Gardner was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. In 1954, his childhood was brutal, his stepfather was abusive, and his family lived in constant poverty. Gardner spent much of his youth in foster care, surrounded by violence, alcoholism, and instability. Despite the odds, he had big dreams. He joined the Navy, worked odd jobs, and eventually became a medical supply salesman. But even then, he was barely surviving. Life hit its lowest point when he invested in expensive bone scanners that no one wanted to buy. Soon, his girlfriend left him. He had no money, no job, and no home, only his 14-month-old son, Christopher Jr., and he refused to abandon him. One day, Chris saw a man step out of a red Ferrari and asked him what he did. The man replied, "I'm a stockbroker." That moment changed everything. Chris decided he wanted in. He applied to training programs for brokerage firms, even while homeless. During the day, he studied finance and cold-called potential clients. At night, he and his son slept in train station restrooms, shelters, or wherever they could find a roof. With no college degree, no connections, and barely any sleep, he outworked everyone. Finally, he landed a spot at Dean Witter Reynolds. He worked tirelessly, passed the licensing exam, and became a full-time employee. Years later, in 1987, Chris founded his own brokerage firm, Gardner Rich & Co. Starting with just $10,000 and working out of a small apartment, he built it into a company worth millions. Chris Gardner's story became so powerful, it inspired the Hollywood film, The Pursuit of Happyness, starring Will Smith. But beyond fame, Gardner dedicated his life to helping others, especially homeless families and underprivileged youth. "You can only depend on yourself. The cavalry ain't coming," he once said. His life reminds us, no matter how bad things get, you can rise. If Chris Gardner can make it from the streets to the boardroom, so can you. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real-life stories that prove success is always possible, no matter where you start.